Greetings from this end. So I would like to introduce us to section 5, where we'll be showing us how to create tests, and we'll also be showing us how to import and export images, and we'll also be showing us how to PowerClip and fade images. Okay, let's dive in. Remember, I double clicked on this box to bring out my frame. Just double click on the box to bring out your frame. After, you must have given it the actual scale you need. I think I'm working on a scale of 2 by 3. To import an image, and likely I might be using that image as a background image for this particular slide. Call it a magazine I want to create. So I'll be heading over to my file. This is import. Clicked on file, I went to import. From import, I can go to pictures so that I can be able to see the pictures I want to import. Then let me choose this, and once I choose it, you will see the name of the file or the picture will be here, animation, and you click import. So once you have clicked import, you can right click or left click rather, and drag to drop your image. Perfect. So I want to use it as a background image for this particular dialog I'm creating. Okay. Next thing I want to do is to fade this particular picture I have imported. I want to make it blur so that I can use it as a background picture. So what do I do? So if you can observe what I did here, I picked the transparency tool, and with the transparency tool, I clicked on the image and dragged. So this was my outcome. I can adjust the transparency to however I want it, from left to bottom, from top to bottom rather, just as I'm doing it now. You can adjust from top to bottom. You can also adjust from left to right. You can see it depending on how you want your transparency to be like. You can see the adjustments going on. Then aside from this, I can also adjust from these endpoints. See these tabs here. This one is linear fountain transparency. This one is elliptical fountain transparency, conical fountain transparency. You can see that rectangular fountain transparency. So in case you want the transparency to be neutral, you work with this particular one. First of all, I'm returning back to the first linear fountain transparency which I chose. The first linear fountain transparency. Then on that linear fountain transparency, you can choose this one so that it will be a uniform transparency all through the background image. Adjust. I have 83. Okay, let me bring it up a little. Okay, I think 63 is okay. So let's proceed. Okay, now that I have my background image set, let me proceed with inserting text. So without wasting much time, there are two methods of inserting text. You can insert your text manually by just clicking on this text tool, and maybe you decide to come here, double click. See that? But before you double click, it is good to first of all set your font name and font size, so that once you double click, it will give you exactly what you have. It will give you the pointer exactly the way you have set it. So let me return back so that I can set it before I proceed. Okay, now I'll hit on my text tool. So let me set it before I insert manually. Let me pick bookmark style as the font name. Okay, then I hit OK. Artistic text, it's OK. Then size, font size. Then put it in a font size that can be reasonable enough for me to see it. Then later I can adjust it to my taste. Okay, so at least now you can see the pointer. You can see the pointer right there. So let me type in my words manually. Now that I have my write-up added manually, I can come from here on the angle and increase it. And also increase. If you want to also stretch a little downwards, is permitted, but make sure you are stretching in such a way that it does not distort your text. So I clicked bold to make it more visible. So I can see that my write-up is the width is a little bit more than the layout, so I'll take it in a little. Centralize it. So let me proceed because of time. So now that I have my write-up here, this one was added manually. Then we have another method. I think this method now, if you right click on the text tool, you can right click on your board and drop. So this particular one now is called creating a dialog box. Inside. So the same way I did the manually before writing, you can also increase your font so that once you are typing you can see it. But let me increase the font manually. And to increase my font manually. Let me just go back. I think it will be better I increase the font as soon as I am about to write. Okay, now that I have picked this, just go straight and increase the font size so that when you are writing you can easily see what you are writing. I picked 100. Okay, I can now draw my paragraph. So with this paragraph or dialog box, you can easily arrange your write-ups the way you want it. And after arranging your write-ups, then let me just pick a random text to fill it up. Importance tests. let's go with paragraphs. So the dialog box is actually much. It's actually a little bit small in size compared to what I inserted inside. So I will have taken a bit. I won't have taken much of this. What I just did was to hold Ctrl Shift and direction to highlight and delete. Ctrl Shift and direction to highlight and delete. So that is another shortcut for highlighting. If you want to highlight by right clicking and dragging, fine. But if you hold Ctrl Shift with your direction keys, these arrow keys, direction keys are these arrow keys you have left, right, up and down. So I'll take my dialog box is ready. Still you can still move your dialog box. If you notice this X, you can from X move your dialog box and place it wherever you want to place it, wherever you want to insert it, and adjust it. If you observe, you find out that at my right hand side there is what we call a frame here, text frame. We also have text tools here. You can see the columns which we have here. You can see bulletins, we can see drop caps. How this drop cap functions is, for example, as we have this now, this drop cap, the drop cap will make this letter P here to be large, to be as large as possible, so that it can be visibly seen the same way this letter A is seen here. So you can test it on your own. I don't have much time to do that. You can use the drop cap to write your tests. Maybe just adjust. If you adjust this word to the right, you can duplicate it and use the drop cap for the left. Okay. I also want to show us some certain things using this. If you want to adjust your dialog box to various number of columns, aside from the way I did it manually by duplicating it, you can use here. You can see it. I clicked 2 and it duplicated into 2 columns. If I click 3, it will duplicate into 3 columns. If I click 4, it will duplicate into 4 columns. So that with that, you can easily set up your magazine or your manual perfectly without having to run it manually the way I did it initially. So I think we have discussed on how to create tests, which I have done manually and automatically using the dialog box. And then we have also discussed how to import images and fade images. If you are observant, you will find out that my image background has been faded so that I can be able to compose my write-ups. Now I want to also import a picture so that I can insert it here, and I'm going to use PowerClip for that picture. Now let's do that. I think that's the last one I'll be doing right now before I call it a day for section 5. So let's do that. First of all, I want to pick my Eclipse tool. Remember, you hold Ctrl and then you drag so that it will give a smooth scale. Okay. Okay, now that I have my circle, I can still duplicate it. So that it can give me a more colorful design when I PowerClip. Okay. Then now let's wanted to make sure that it was the background I shaded. So, because I want to PowerClip into this circle, inner circle. Now I want to pick my image, go to File, go to Import. So now that I have my image, let's do this. Okay, I have my glass walls inserted. Remember that you can actually go through this procedure I used, this import procedure, and you can actually import your pictures manually. You can import your pictures manually by minimizing your CorelDRAW. Then if you minimize your CorelDRAW, then you have opened your file, what you will now do is you drag like this. You drag it like this and you place on your CorelDRAW. For instance, if this particular area was minimized to the right and then your CorelDRAW was minimized to the left, you can just pick this and drop on your CorelDRAW. So you can as well try it out. Let's just proceed. So now that I have this, I will now right click, and then you go through here. You can see that I right click on it and I moved it. Once I right click, you will see the arrow showing me the direction of where I want to PowerClip that image. So I had to right click inside here for the image to be inserted. So you can as well replay it and take a good look. So aside from the fact that I right click on that image to have that PowerClip display, I think you can also use the objects. You can see as I tapped on the objects, I have PowerClip here. So it's another alternative. So once you click here, it will display the same arrow so that you can fit it into the frame. So I think I have my first magazine or manual up and running. So you can as well try it out from your own end and come up with more beautiful, colorful results. So let's call it a day for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure you